Good morning, it's Barbara. It's pretty warm out there, but I'm going out. Good morning. It is bright and sunny and warm out here, but I'm out here. I brought my dad's feet. This is his right foot. Can you see that? His left foot's just as bad, but I had more trouble drawing it. It's short and wide. Can you see that? So I'm gonna have to cut out my slipper about 3/8 of an inch, at least 3/8 of an inch, all the way around extra. I'm gonna do whatever seaming I'm doing is not gonna be on the outside because I don't want any seams on the inside. That's gonna be uncomfortable. We'll see. Called him yesterday, sounded good. Let him know that I couldn't come on Monday, as I had told him. So we'll come on Tuesday or Wednesday. He's going to tell me which day works best. I'll call him tonight and see when he got his shower. I will come on his not shower day. But things just changed and he wasn't sure. So anyway, that's good. He's doing good. The cleaners came yesterday, so the house is clean. That's always lovely. That's a lovely gift from Aura, which I really appreciate. I watered on the deck, but I did not water in the garden in the front. I will be watering the garden in the front. Supposedly, Manny, our Amish gardener, he called on Monday when I wasn't home because it hasn't rained. His people that he mows lawns for don't need their lawns mowed. So he has time. He was supposed to call me yesterday because I had laid out a bunch of stuff I would like him to do, and then I hadn't heard back. I hadn't gotten an estimate or anything. I just never heard. So if he has time, he can start doing some stuff around for me. One of my goals is to have a beautiful early spring something. So I'm having him plant some I just had the name of it right in my mind. Forsythia. I'm having him plant some forsythia in the front, at the side of the house, by the woods, so that in the spring I have some yellow forsythia. Because of course my daffodils are tiny little miniature daffodils, adorable, but you can't see them from the road. So I also want some spring bulbs planted, but that will be in the fall. And there's an area, a big patch between driveways that we think is ours, and it has a lot of undergrowth and stuff in it now, and it's not very attractive. So I wanted him to clean that out and plant something. I think I asked him to plant ivy, but he had a different suggestion, which I can't remember, so I hope he remembers what we talked about. And I also want him to plant some peonies. And we have a volunteer. I think I told you we have a volunteer. I'll be here all day trying to think of the name of it. It'll come to me. It's a shade plant with variegated leaves that come out to a point and sometimes have a flower for a very short time. It's a shade plant and it's very delicious to deer. So we don't have any in our garden, but we got a load of dirt to fill in where we had a sinkhole, and we have a volunteer in the middle of our yard. It'll come to me. I'll tell you tomorrow. And so we'll have him replant that in the shade. Just put a chair over it so it would have a little shade. I can't believe I can't think of it, but the deer love it. We don't get very many deer in our yard. But meanwhile, He didn't call me yesterday, so I have to water the front, and I figured out my problem. I've been having trouble managing the hose. We've got this hose that isn't stiff, and it doesn't kink. So it's a very nice hose, but I've been having trouble getting it out to the front, and I realized my problem was I was turning the water on before I moved it. But it's much lighter with no water in it and much easier to handle. So I will take it out to the front without the water on and then come back and turn the water on, and we'll see how that works. I'll let you know. So I did water out here. I just watered the indoor plants too because, you know, hosta. We have a hosta in the middle of our yard. When I used to work back in the day, I worked for the company I worked for about 28 years. 29 years. And things never really went away with that company. Projects, you know, I cannot tell you how many times somebody walked in my office, Barb, you remember XYZ project, blah, 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 and asked me a question. And I would say, I'll email you in about 20 minutes when that information perks up in my brain. It takes me about 20 minutes to unfile some information in my brain to have it in the front of my brain so I could discuss it. Apparently I still have that problem, but now it's just, you know, Bruce Willis and hostas and things like that. Hostas. So we have a hosta growing in the middle of our yard. It's doing very well, considering it's a very sunny part of the yard. The other thing I want him to do is plant peonies along the fence back there, and because I want peonies. So he's going to plant some peonies, plant some forsythia, do something with our wild area in the front, and maybe do some weeding if he comes soon. Otherwise I have to do the weeding. And put some mulch around. We have the mulch. I just need to put it around my new plants, but if he's coming, I'll let him do it. If he's coming. Yeah. So anyway, it's warm in the sun, but actually it's breezy, and it's probably much more comfortable in the chair over there that's in the shade. Yeah. I'm very happy with how my flowers are doing. I've been very vigilant watering. Dennis's pepper is adorable and growing. It's about that tall. And yeah. And it's fun to sit here in the morning because the hanging basket, which I've shown you before. Can you see my hanging basket? The problem is I can't see in my camera. Anyway, there's a hanging basket that's very pretty, and it is very much appreciated by the pollinators that come around. So it's fun to sit here and watch them just go from flower to flower to flower to flower to flower, and that's fun. And I've seen the hummingbird a couple times. That always makes me smile. All right. I made crackers yesterday. I made popovers yesterday. And Pete and Terry came, so the house is clean. Dennis is making a cheesecake today or tomorrow. And I guess we need to brainstorm about meals while Russ and Pat are here. Pat is not a fan of seafood, although Dennis made trout almondine for her one time and she loved it. But we don't generally go the seafood way, although we did make, they were here for Aura's birthday maybe last year, And Dennis made her crab cakes because it's her favorite. So we had something else for Pat, and she was perfectly content. You couldn't find lovelier people. Just lovely. Yep, Dennis brought a lot of assets to this marriage, and they were all people. They were all people, including him. Meanwhile, I'm going to go. It's hot and sticky out here. I'm going to keep thinking about my slipper project. I might start taking out, cutting up. I'm going to open up the sleeves and see where we go from there. I think I can get 2 pairs of slippers out of that sweater. Maybe I'll just make my own. Make myself a pair of slippers from that. I think that would be fun. In fact, I wonder if I should make mine first. Well, I need to make sure that I have enough fabric. But if I made mine first, the second pair always goes better because you figured it out. Something to think about. Meanwhile, I'm going to go. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please. Oh, I went shopping yesterday too. So I did a few things besides sit around and have my house cleaned. I did a few things. Please stay safe and stay safe.